Hi guys, so what I've done today is just first curled and pinned up my hair so it can set nicely, and then I'm first working on my eyes. I'm just priming them with the Urban Decay Original Primer Potion and then using these shadow shields just under my eyes because I am going to be using some pigments, and for me it generally falls quite a bit, and just to save the time of like sort of clearing up the mess and stuff, I thought these would work perfectly because it'll just collect all the product on it. And then for the base of my eyes, I'm using the MAC Paintpot in the shade Layin Low, and this so far has to be one of my favorite bases to place on my eyelids just to neutralize them. But you can use a concealer if you wish, and if you don't have a lot of pigmentation then you can skip this step as well. And then I'm just setting that with the Makeup Forever Ultra HD pressed powder, and this is the yellow sort of banana shade, and I'm using my Morphe Y11 brush for this, and this will just help my eyeshadows to blend nicely. Then moving on to this eyeliner gel by Maybelline, it's the brown one. I'm using my MAC flat concealer brush, and I'm just applying that to the main parts of my eyelids. This will help to create like a nice base for my eyeshadow. Then taking bronze by MAC, and I'm using my MAC 239 brush. I'm just applying that on top before moving on to my transition color, and that is Coral by MAC as well. And I'm using my Morphe Y17 brush for this, and this is so soft. It helps to blend this area really nicely. For my brow bone, I'm taking Naked by MAC, and I'm using my Sigma brush, and it's the E25 brush. I'm just going into my inner corners slightly with that as well. And then I'm adding some Museum Bronze, which is a MAC pigment, on top of that, just to sort of add like a nice shine onto my eyelids. And then I wanted to go in with glitter, but because it's one of the Reflex ones by MAC, I'm just applying some eyeshadow primer because for me, I find it works really well to help stick these types of glitter on. And the one that I've used is the MAC Reflex Antique Gold. And so just to help that glitter stay on a bit longer, I'm just spraying some of the setting spray, just mainly on my eye area, and then just keeping my eyes closed until it dries before moving on to my eyeliner. And for that, I'm taking the Master Ink Matte eyeliner by Maybelline, which is one of my favorite sort of pen type eyeliners, if that makes sense, because it's got such a nice thin tip to it. And then I'm just taking the shadow shields off. You can see how much has been collected on that, so it just saves that much wiping away. And then I'm moving on to my face. So firstly, I'm priming it with the Porefessional Matte Rescue primer by Benefit before moving on to my Dior foundation. And this is the Dior Forever foundation in the shade 40. I'm using my Tarte blending sponge for this, and I'm loving this sponge, guys. It's a really nice soft sponge to use. For my darkness under the eyes, I was just using the Illamasqua cream pigment in Emerge before using my Urban Decay Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer in the shade Medium Neutral. And I'm just using that same Tarte sponge for this as well. I have slightly dampened the sponge with the MAC Fix Plus spray because I just feel that it just blends out a lot nicer this way. Then moving on to cream contour, I'm taking the Sculptor stick by Tarte Cosmetics, and this is in the shade called Park Avenue Princess, which is such a nice product. It is so creamy and blends out really nicely. I'm using my Morphe Y8 brush for this, but you can use pretty much anything, even a blending sponge would do. It just blends out super nicely. I just love this product. It's a new one of mine and I'm loving it. Then just to help set under the eyes, I'm using the same Ultra HD banana powder by Makeup Forever just to help reduce any creasing and stuff. Then taking my Morphe Y12 brush, I'm sort of lightly baking the area under the contour just to help sharpen it a little bit and define it. Time for my brows, and I'm using the Benefit Goof Proof eyebrow pencil, and this is in the shade number 6, and I have used this so many times because I just love this product. This was a sample given to me and it's still going, so it's a really good one. Then moving on to bronzing, I'm taking the Kat Von D bronzer, which is in the shade Shady Business 2, and I'm just using my Real Techniques brush for this before contouring. And for that, I'm using my sleek contour kit in the shade medium and just applying it with my MAC 100 brush. And it's mainly to the usual areas that I like to contour, which is the hollows of my cheek, the sides of my face, sort of the jawline as well, forehead, and down the bridge or down the side of my nose and the tip of it. And for my nose area, I'm using the Royal and Langnickel brush. Then moving back to my eyes, I'm taking the Perversion eye pencil by Urban Decay and just tight lining my eyes. Here you can see me doing just my lower waterline, but I did do the upper waterline off camera purely because that makes me tear quite a bit, so it took me time. But I'm taking the brown eye pencil by Mememe and just going underneath that and using the Morphe Trouble eyeshadow going on top of that Mememe eye pencil. I'm then blending that with the Coral eyeshadow by MAC as well, and I'm using the same Morphe Y17 brush because it's a really nice sort of blending brush, and this will just help to create like a nice sort of soft smoky effect. For my blush, I'm using the Ripe Peach blush by MAC, and this was one of their limited edition ones, I think a couple years back, and I've used it loads, but it doesn't even look as if I've touched it. Now moving on to the highlight, which I love, as you can see. This is the MAC highlight in the shade called Oh Darling, which is a really nice gold highlight. I am in love with this. It's so nice. I'm using that same highlighter, the Oh Darling one by MAC, and just reapplying it to the brow bone and inner corners of my eyes just to give it that extra pop of color. And then using the Perversion mascara by Urban Decay, I'm just applying maybe a couple of coats on my upper and lower lashes. I didn't want to go way too heavy because I did want to go in with my falsies, and for that it's the Huda Beauty lashes in the style Samantha, and I did apply them off camera because it just takes me ages to pop them on. But then moving on to my lips, I'm taking the Kiko lip pencil in the shade 310, which is a really nice pinky color. I'm just lining my lips and filling them in before moving onto the Jouer liquid lipstick, and this is in the shade Cassis, and I just wanted a sort of a different color, so I added the Candy K lip color by Kylie Cosmetics. So my makeup is pretty much done. I'm just going to sort out my hair and I'll be right back. So I've pretty much done, just literally curled my hair and put it to the side. My eyes are like so. Try to go for something simple but yet a little bit glam with the sparkle and everything on my eyes. So I hope you guys like this video. Please do thumbs up if you do. Don't forget to also subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video.